Hello once again, YouTube. This is Donnie Lester for Pagan Fellowship, Episode 1, Part 3. Sorry about that, got cut off. The time limits are a pain in the butt. As I was saying, pagan groups, Wiccan groups are not a dictatorship. The leaders of those groups are given the position by popular vote. And if you do run into one where they've been the leader for a long time, that's probably because they formed the group. I'm the leader of the current group that I'm in right now only because I organize everything and I put the group together myself. So, and if they no longer want me to be their leader, then I'll step down. That's the normal practice. I'm trying to angle this camera so you can see a little bit more of me rather than the background. We don't have any hierarchy as far as like the Vatican or anything like that, but we don't have anything that goes any higher than the actual groups. We've got degrees and stuff like that, but that only denotes where somebody is in their personal part of the religious thing there. We don't call ourselves guru or master or anything like that. That's not what it's all about. We may see fit to bestow the title of elder, but that is a title that is bestowed only when that group truly feels like somebody has the knowledge and experience that denotes somebody who deserves such an honor. Let's see. We don't, and one thing I want to stress, we don't believe that our path is the right one, nor do we feel that our path works for everyone. We firmly believe that all responsibility for what happens is strictly of our own making. A decision we make or don't make, something we do or don't do, we are responsible for. We don't believe that there's some entity floating around out there that deceives us into doing bad things. Bad things we're taught from young children, no matter what belief you come from, what's right and wrong. And what's right and wrong is in our hearts to begin with. And we can tell the difference. If we choose to do something wrong, that is clearly our problem, our fault. Falls under the guise of personal responsibility. We don't blame an entity of evil to be completely responsible for our negative behavior. One of the vilest accusations is that we are Satanists. That's already been discussed. I'm not going to go into that. One of the things I've already mentioned on part 1 or in part 2 is blood sacrifices. We do not make blood sacrifices. We've gotten past that archaic part of our beliefs. We no longer need it. Our tools are tools to change our mental state, to allow us to shift our consciousness into being capable of altering energy. That's all they're for. I don't need all the tools you saw in part 1, because that big black shelf and that shelf on the wall, all my tools, the incense, part of the incense you see up over here behind me, and the robes, and I'll get into what all that is for and what it represents in another episode altogether. That's not what this episode's for. It's a different topic. But they are tools. They help us alter our consciousness. That's it. Let's see. We don't have wild sexual orgies spiced with drugs. Because number 1, we have a respect for ourselves and each other. It's respect. As for the drugs, we seek to alter our consciousness, but not like that. Not through that. That is not a normal pagan practice anymore. Our consciousness is altered through our own efforts, not efforts of a drug. already discussed. The devil and or Satan or Lucifer, in your concept, doesn't exist to us. That is a Christian concept we don't abide by. We don't kill animals or humans in our rituals. It's one of the worst things that can be said. We respect life, all forms of it, no matter what it is. Bug, tree, humans, deer in the forest, doesn't matter what it is. We respect life. One thing I'd like to say is, y'all's beliefs strongly advocate abstinence before marriage, but you accuse us of being sexually promiscuous. Sorry, but you don't have to hide behind your beliefs to have sex, to make whoopee. Anybody who has the ability and stamina and health to do it, can do it. In fact, this society is strongly Christianized. And if I'm not mistaken, teen pregnancy and wrecked families and stuff like that come from children being sexually promiscuous is pretty high right now, and that might have something to do with the fact that we're not teaching the right way of doing it. Instead of teaching abstinence, teach them to be respectful about what they're doing. For the guys, strap it up. Put on a condom. If you don't have one, don't stick it in. And yes, I'm getting blunt, but you know what? This needs to be said. And this is going to be the last part. I don't care if I have tons more material in this book or not. Because I've pretty much gone through... I've pretty much gone through everything that's most vilest that I would have wanted to go through, so... Okay, for the females out there, there are several things you can do. There's the pill, the morning after pill. Ensure that the guy you're sleeping with is wearing a rubber, or keep him closed. There's also other ways, but those ways don't work. I want to get into this. One myth, pulling out. That doesn't happen. It doesn't work. Because there's something called pre-cum that, and yes, I'm getting on a very thin line there. Might be offensive to some of the parents out there that view this video with their child. But you know what? Your child needs to learn this anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Pre-cum has a higher sperm count than ejaculation has. And the woman's female parts can provide anything and everything the sperm needs to survive, including the energy to swim. So, pulling out doesn't work. And guys, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I can feel when I do that. No, you can't. Pre-cum is something that is used as a lubricant for the most part. There is more sperm in pre-cum than there is in the ejaculation. You're not going to feel it. That is where the pregnancy occurs when you pull out. You may be able to keep your ejaculation from getting inside of her, but your pre-cum, you don't know about. I've gotten badly off topic here, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video, because there's like 15 seconds left, so to all of you that believe as I do, blessed be and have a good night. For those that don't, I hope you have a great time. I hope you enjoyed and then learned something from these videos. Goodbye.